Hi mate, welcome back to the channel, Fix It for Reselling. Today we've got a Wii guitar. We did have two, and we have got two. This one was working fine, but this one we've had a few little niggles with. First of all, these buttons weren't working, but if you know, you can take the necks out. We've managed to clean the contacts in there and kind of get down to the ones in there. Now those are working a bit better now, but I still want to clean these contacts out properly, and they're pretty hard to get to. But also, we've got some of these buttons down here, the plus one especially, you have to press quite hard for that one to make a reaction on the console. Everything else seems to be working fine on here. So to clean these contacts out, we're going to take the back off. Not taken one of these apart before. So we're just going to get it off and give the contacts a clean in here. So let's have a look, see how you get this apart. I've not done one, hopefully you've not. But if you've got unresponsive buttons, also the strum bar as well, sometimes flicks and double flaps and does like double presses, and sometimes then it doesn't go down. So we're going to clean this as well. So while we got it apart, we'll just clean all the contacts inside. Let's get you overhead and try and find out how to take this apart and see if we can get it sorted. But firstly, just to show you, I'll zoom in on the screen that I've got up on here. Alright, let's get you over here. So, you see sometimes it flicks down and double flicks up. Or it doesn't flick down at all. And sometimes you'll flick it and it'll do a double flick. But that's just because you could be doing it too hard. See, that was that flicked down and up. I'm not sure whether this plus button does anything on this screen. Yeah, it does. It takes you out. Oh no, it's loaded it. But this is also the pause button, this plus button here. So you can press it and not much has happened. You've got to press it hard for it to go in, for it to do anything rather. So you can press it, won't do anything, and then it will. Just to show you it's doing stuff. Oh, let me get on the right keys. That's losing my religion, so I know how that goes. But yeah, so these ones are working better now, but we still need to clean the contacts down in this neck properly. Let's get you overhead, let's get it apart. Right, so I picked up this Wii bundle at an auction. Went for 24 quid. Had the Wii Sports Fit, 2 remotes. One of them's brand new in a packet. Not been opened. Everything absolutely stinks of smoke. This Wii was yellow. I thought it was sun bleached, but no, it was nicotine. But we had got a couple of these Wii guitars laying around, so I thought I'd just do a bundle of the Wii and the guitars and Wii Sports. Also came with all the like tennis racket attachments. But that was the reason for sort of going through these. I don't usually pay much for the Wii guitars. It's usually just pay like £1 or £2 for them. Right, let's get that remote out of there for now. Let's detach the neck off of here. Take our strap off just so things aren't in the way. So I'm going to shut the Wii down because I can hear the fan noises. Just makes it a bit more quieter in this corner. Right, let's take the face plate off with this one under here. I think that is the face plate one, isn't it? Not actually sure how you're meant to take these off, but do they just pop off? Yes, they do. Right, let's get it over there. Right, so there we go. I mean, this is caked in, you can see that's got all thick dust around there anyway, so it's probably just got dirt in there. Actually, it's probably a bit easier to get down to those contacts in there now. Not sure whether you can see them in there. Just those pins. I'll probably get to them a bit easier now with a toothbrush actually, so those ones won't be too bad to clean up.
Can you hear that?
The wife's just making me a tea. Bought me a Freddy Frito. Can't beat a Freddy Frito. Right, let's get you out. And my chocolate. Got my tea. Right, let's flip it over, see what screws we got on the back of here. Let's get my little screw set. It look like little Torx screws. Here's an endorsement not to buy this screwdriver set. The bits are alright, but the actual screwdriver itself, absolutely useless. It's too skinny and shiny. You've got these 3 little rubber things on here, but you just can't get any tight screws. You just can't get a good grip on it. So no, don't buy this. Don't buy this set. Bits are okay. Get one that's got a nice big sort of fat grip on it. Nice big fat rubber grip. Then you can turn the screws better. Right, so we're looking at Torx. Look at Torpex. They're not the they're security ones, but you don't need security ones. So it's probably a T9. Most of these little ones are a T9. Shift that. Let's stick it in and see. Yep. See, you just can't get a grip on it, and these little rubber things turn around. Oh look, now that's falling out. Cheap Chinese shit. Right, so that one's undone. So let me undo these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws. I'll fast forward. Right, so last one I think. Now let's. Oh, I've already popped this. Already pulled that out, which is just the cover. I don't know whether that's the connector. If you, it looks like a Ethernet connector or something. Is it going to come apart? No, I've got all the screws out. The warranty sticker. There's always one under a warranty sticker. Right, where's the heat gun? Right, if you might have seen in one of the previous videos, to get the stickers off, I just use a heat gun. You can use a hairdryer. I can set the temperature on here. I usually set it to about 120 degrees. Heat this up. It should come off nice and easy without ripping. It heats the glue up, softens it, so you can take it off and it will then stick back down again. That's all it needs. 30 seconds or so just to warm it up. Just go and get our knife under the corner. Shake your hands. So just get your knife under the corner, hold your finger on there. And that's it, they should just all come up nice and easily. Well, I don't know whether you can see from that, the void has all stayed behind there. Oopsie. Some of them you can get them off without the void stand, but usually the void shows through the label, which that isn't. But it's still got some stickiness on it. We'll keep that. Not that these things are going to be under warranty anymore anyway. Absolutely pointless. Right, and a hidden screw. Oh, I hate this little screwdriver. Right. Now, come apart. Where's all the boards are connected to the top or the bottom? Bit of both. What am I missing? Don't tell me you've got tiny ones down in the neck there. You have. You have got tiny ones down in the neck there. Is that too big? No, that'll do. Use a proper screwdriver. Right, now you're going to come apart, aren't you? Of course you are. There we go, simples, cobwebs and all. So I'm going to give this a quick brush out, clean up before we put it back together. So these are the buttons under this one we want to get to. So just going to undo this one. Actually, we'll have a look under here while we're in there. Why not? Everything else seems to work. The movement, the D-pad thing, not the D-pad, the analog stick, that seems to be fine. Keep them there. So here we just have our little pads. Which are just stuck through with these rubber things. They've got little rubber legs, so you can just push them in. When you want to put them back in, you just push them in and you pull the legs. Which is quite nice. See, the fan on my computer has little rubber legs like that. Stops any vibration, but that's on a fan. That's not going to do anything with the legs. Right, so our usual little trick, we have some IPA. A lot of you are not going to have IPA, and I don't condone using this because it leaves a sticky residue everywhere. But if you've got no IPA, you know, WD-40 is a contact cleaner, but it's just a messy contact cleaner, so I would advise against using it. If you want to use this, take a cotton bud and just spray a tiny amount on a cotton bud, and I would wash it off afterwards. So I'm not going to use the IPA this time. Usually I would use isopropyl alcohol, which is a 99% alcohol. That will clean contacts, or if you've got a contact cleaner, you can buy special contact cleaners that do this. You can buy another thing called deoxit, which, as it kind of like says in the name, it deoxidizes stuff, because you know, on these contacts you get oxidization, which is just a mix of like the air, copper, water, whatever. So you can use some WD-40. We'll give it a go. We're going to wipe the excess off of here actually. Don't want to leave WD-40 in here. See, I don't know if you can see, it does leave a little film on there. Yeah, you can see, kind of like see that little bit of film on there. Actually, because I'm going to doing this properly, I'm going to get some isopropyl alcohol. Where's my hand? Look, there it is. Just dipping that in my IPA bottle. The other end of the cotton bud, obviously. Right, and then I'm just going to wipe this off. The good thing with the IPA, that will just that just evaporates. You can see that evaporating. So it will all eventually evaporate to nothing if I've got all that WD-40 off. See, that's the thing, that WD-40 just leaves like a oily residue on stuff. So you can use it if that's all you got, but I advise not to, and people will probably tell me off for saying to use it. You've got your little carbon contacts in there. It's worth giving them a little wipe. You will see they come off black because you are actually, I think, wiping a bit of the carbon off. Just Don't need much, just give them a little clean up, a little refresher. Right, and then we put these buttons back through. Put the legs through, pull them, whip. That's it, it's in there nice and tight. So there, that's on there, and we'll screw this one back down. Alright, let's have a look under here for the fun of it. So, not going to be all the screws. I think these screws are what's holding the buttons on for the strumming bar. So let's try the corners for now. That now lifts out of there. It has got all these cables attached to it. Which I don't really want to pop them off. That seems to have only one screw in that side of that. There's one missing, I don't know. Slide that board out of there. Another wire holder down here. So I'll just poke that wire up through there. Just want to be able to flip this board over without taking too much else apart. Flip it that way. Gonna flip that way. Should have left this board undone. Should have left this undone. Now I'm gonna flip that over. Right, so these are the ones that you know, your strumming bar hits. So that hits these two buttons. And now we've got these out as well, so we can give them a good clean. To get into these, you can't really get into these, so this is probably where you do need an IPA that will dry out, will evaporate on its own. So just going to get some in the lid there. Just literally soak that. And try and dab it down in there. They could probably pour a little bit down in there. But this will do. There's holes in between there, so this will just run down and then hit the contacts. Right, and again with these clips at the end, or these contacts at the end rather, just going to get some IPA on them now. I can get, right between them all, give them a good old clean up. Just soak them in IPA. And then get your toothbrush. Trusty old toothbrush. Get that in some IPA. Now give them a good old brushing over. And like I say, while you got the IPA out or what you're cleaning, there's your contacts in the end of there. So you can give them a good old toothbrushing as well. Yeah, the IPA will clean all them off. That's it, let's get it back together. See what happens. And I'll give this a quick little brush out. So that slides back in there. Just make sure this is all lining up. Just slots over two plastic posts. 4 screws back in the corners. Cable holder. which I think do only have one screw, because it just holds it over these plastic posts. It just holds it in place. It's not actually under, it's not under any strain or anything like that. Right, and while we got these buttons out, or board out, which I should have done before, just got all the gunk around our buttons in there, all the dust and fluff, so we can just wipe all that off. Just get rid of all that. Still got our alcohol out, so might as well make use of that and clean them buttons. Not zoomed out, you can't see what buttons I'm talking about, can you? Right, these buttons down here, which only go back in one way round. This one, 2 screws down here. That down out the way, that's all down in there. This wire clips into that, I think. Does it only go one roy in there? Looks like it that way. Should have paid attention. Should have paid attention in school. Well, before we put it all back together, I'm just going to brush this dust out with trusty soft brush. Just an old paintbrush. Get the old cobwebs out. Especially this one in here. Clean in between this part of the neck as well. It's a bit harder to get to when it's all back together. Get down inside the neck of here. Right, let's try and pop it all back together, make sure things are set in the right place. Don't forget about this little door that covers that thing there. I think it goes around the other way, inside there. Squashes back down the top. This is going to be the same fix for if these buttons stop working. It'll be basically take them apart and it'll be the same contacts. You can do exactly the same thing to them. If you've got some of these buttons that ain't working, give them a clean. They'll probably be working again. Slide the neck back in. Good, good, good. Right, let's load it back up. Right, so we've got the Wii behind us. We'll move our arrow. We'll move our analog stick to get us back on Guitar Hero. That button's still working. Oh no, we've got to move down. Start. And I'll keep the volume off for a minute because it's just going to get copyrighted all over this, aren't you? Right, button's working, the button's skipping. But it's more of this plus button. They're all round the right way, aren't they? Yeah, it's more of this plus button down the bottom. Let's just get it on quick play. Right, let's zoom you in again a bit. Right, so this might still be doing the same thing. It's going up and down now. It's not like doing that double skip, and it's working for everything. So actually that's... oh, that did a double skip then. That's not too bad, that is better. I think this plus button does a select button as well. Let's see. Yeah, and that works straight away. Didn't even have to press it hard. We'll see when it loads up. See how that's working now, just by a gentle press. Pause, unpause, pause, unpause. So that's totally fixed that button, which was a problem one. Right, so there we go. That was quite a simple fix for that one. It's probably taken me about half an hour to do, but don't forget, I'm filming this, I'm talking, I'm dribbling, I'm redoing stuff, retaking things that I forget to do. But if you was to do that, I mean, listen, you just got to undo a few screws, heat that up for 30 seconds. You're going to get that done in sort of 15, 20 minutes maybe less. But yeah, it's just a simple cleaning of the contacts, clean the inside out. That's as good as new. Right, I'm going to play a bit of Dire Straits, Money for Nothing, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Keep rocking. And although this is going to be copyrighted music, you get everyone saying they don't want to get a copyright strike. It's not exactly a bad thing. It's not a copyright strike. You've stolen my music. You will basically get adverts on your YouTube video that the money from the adverts will go to the copyright holder. So if I play Dire Straits here, the money for the adverts they then put on my video will go to the owner of the Dire Straits music, who I'm not sure is, whether it's, you know, EMI, Polydor, whatever like that. So yeah, it's not a bad thing, and if your channel is monetized, obviously the money's going to them and not you. So that's why they take the music out, so the money doesn't go to the other person, it comes to you. But when you're making a video and take the time and you've got adverts on your channel, you want the money to come to you. All right, let's see how this goes. Ooh. Ah, lost it. Oh, wrong buttons. Yeah. Nearly. I've never played Guitar Hero before. Well, not until I started reselling in the last few months. I love these things. I can see why they're popular. Thank you and good night.